Welcome to Grasping the Word 2024. I am Mark Parker, your host. Our verse for this week of November the 10th would be Exodus chapter 15 and verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my Father's God, and I will exalt him. The setting is that the children of Israel were in bondage in Egypt, as found in Exodus chapter 1, after a new king over Egypt, which knew not God, said to the people, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we are. So let's deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and come to pass when there falleth out any war, they would join our enemies. And so what they did, he appointed taskmasters to afflict the people of God, Joseph's family, with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities of Pithom and Ramses. And the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. So the plan was failing. Then the absolute worst possible thing that could take place. Pharaoh charged all his people in Exodus 1:22 that every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. And this was regarding the children of Israel. In Exodus chapter 2, verse 23 through 25, it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried. And their cry came up unto God by reason of bondage. And the Lord heard their groaning, and God remembered the covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. God heard their sigh, he heard their cry, he heard their groaning. And when he heard, he remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The word sigh is interesting. And this, as found in Exodus 2:23. The Lord heard their sigh. To sigh means to let out slowly and audibly a deeply drawn breath as an involuntary expression of weariness, dejection, grief, regret, longing, yearning, or relief. It is a sigh. When they sighed, the Lord heard them. He remembered. He looked upon them and had respect unto them. Moses had been gone for some 40 years when God called him with the burning bush and the audible voice of God to come back to Egypt and to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. Of course, there was resistance from Pharaoh's part, which resulted in the sending of plagues by God into Egypt. There were 9 of them. During the early morning hours of April 15th, 2 million plus of all Israelis crossed the border of Egypt and headed toward the Red Sea. They were pursued by their enemy because Satan will never let you go easy. And they crossed the Red Sea miraculously on the dry ground that God had provided. And then they watched as Pharaoh's army drowned in the sea. It is here where we have the first recorded song in the Bible in Exodus chapter 15. They broke out in song. A song is actually totally opposite of a sigh. A song is an expression of joy, and it's voluntary. And then the song begins. I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he hath thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare for him an habitation. My Father's God, and I will exalt him. This is what salvation will do. It will take away your sighs and replace them with a song. Prophet Isaiah in Isaiah 6 and verse number 3 said this, that the God would come and appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. Today, I want this verse in Exodus chapter 15 and verse 2 to be a reminder to you that God wants to take away every burden, every care, every weight, every sin, and replace them with a song. And you know what the song is? The song is God himself. God becomes your song as well as your strength and your salvation. So delight yourself in the Lord and rejoice in the God of your salvation.